Hello and welcome back to Beyond the Veil background information. We're doing an Angels and Demons profile and we're going to be doing, I'm going to be trying to cover the sins, or those that are remaining, amongst the demons and also trying to catch up with any other well-known angels because we're now going to be starting to sort of slip into the point where we're looking at beings that maybe you've not heard of before or have such tiny, tiny bits of information that literally it would be mostly profile rather than anything else. But hopefully you'll find this interesting. Today we're going to be doing about Belphegor. So let's get into it. What's that? You think I'd lift my hand to do something about someone speaking idle threats? Oh dear, you seem to have mistakenly assumed I'm someone that gives a damn, when I've been considering switching allegiance to Belphegor as it's easier. I could just spend the day drinking coffee, looking out at the lake, and making sure my sibling has somewhere to indulge themselves. A quote from the last rattle. Demon of the deadly sin of sloth, Belphegor is a being that comes to the fore mainly due to their inclusion into the Dictionnaire Infernal, rather than any prominence or reference within the Bible. In fact, it's hard to tell who came up with him first, the Kabbalah writing or Christian demonology. Within Christian demonology, originally with a name meaning Lord of the Gap, immediately my brain wonders if that means he's the one in charge of that frustrating announcement at UK train stations. Belphegor is identified as a demon that tempts the laziness of people and is thereby linked to the sin of sloth. In demon classification, he is identified as the demon chief of the sin of sloth, and into the Dictionnaire Infernal comes with a very familiar image of an old man style demon that's sitting down and looking like he really can't be bothered with everything anyone else is doing. He's also accredited as the demon ambassador for Hell to France. In the later Kabbalah writings, he is described as a demon who aids people in making discoveries. However, there is some thought that he may encourage people with ingenious ideas and inventions to become rich solely for these inventions never to be accredited to them, assumably because they never have the emphasis to do anything about these ideas. However, aside from this, Belphegor is known to appear in fiction and has indeed turned up in a lot of different media that uses demonology. He's mentioned by name in Paradise Lost, but not with a specific enough note to be interesting. It has also been suggested that his name might come from a corruption of Baal-peor, a god of the Moabites. Once more we meet Baal and his rivalry in the region. It's quite possible this is the case, but all the same, there's not really much to Belphegor that really defines him as anything more than this demon of the seven deadly sins. But I find him a fun mention for my own works, and here is his profile below. Name, Belphegor. Position, Sin of Sloth, Fallen Angel. Story featured in several mentions. Role, Sin of Sloth. Gender, gender fluid. Description, often seen as a youthful figure just yawning and sleeping the day away like some pet cat, Belphegor will take the form of someone who has all the strength, youth, beauty, and ability to do anything in the world, and yet whiles it away daydreaming. He likes to play with the what ifs and never gets anything done, and often takes the form of an old lion statue coated in moss with its jaw agape in a yawn, rather than a roar to encourage idleness. But this is on the rare times he can be bothered to do anything but remain some lounging figure. Realm, Hell. Abilities to encourage the idea and thought of greatness and ability within a being, and yet to drain their energy or lock them into daydreaming so they are unable to achieve any of these ideals. They are known to encourage the indulgence of items or luxuries to dull the mind and the senses, and have been linked to certain kinds of drug use. Master, Lucifer. Personality, lazy, much preferring to spend their life dreaming than actually doing anything. No one ever seems to really put up with them because they're too lazy to be useful. Their whole desire is to be carefree, and it's a luxury they only have for being a fallen angel. They chat, but it's only in half sentences, and generally appear friendly and good natured, but only because it's too much to do anything else. Relations, Mammon. His equally lazy brother in heaven, yet more industrious in hell. The pair have shown a great rivalry for Lucifer's powers, and Mammon is perhaps the only one who can encourage his brother to do anything useful. Belphegor relies on Mammon having power and influence so that no one bothers him, and he does adore his brother, especially because Mammon has the best beds to sleep on and always relinquishes the Belphegor. Beelzebub. Belphegor has had many lovers that can't that he can't remember doing much more than open their legs for. But one odd romantic encounter he remembers with great reverence was the one time Beelzebub gave him attention. Belphegor is quite in love with Beelzebub, and thus he is the only one who can get him to do anything aside from Lucifer and Mammon. And Belphegor wishes he had more attention from the demon, whose gluttony suits his sloth so well. While Belphegor has produced many children, he barely thinks of, let alone names, if only because Mammon is the one to raise them in his stead. He knows he produced something to Beelzebub, and there is the possibility it was Baal. He dreams it is, for none make him so proud as someone whose delusions of grandeur became real. Lucifer, the one he sings praises of for making it possible for him to just relax the rest of his life. Belphegor is very grateful that his brother introduced. If Lucifer asks anything, Belphegor will help in whatever way he can, but not for anyone else. History. Created with Mammon as angels of dreams, their duty came into effect with the need to weave dreams for the animals that were grown in awareness. At first, Belphegor's duty was to give them the dreams that would lead them to try and jump higher and go faster, try different areas to take over, or even consider using tools. He worked hard on this job, but would become frustrated when he would get told his ideas might be too ambitious, or if he did not make the dream exciting enough, it was followed. He began to slacken his work and grow annoyed that he must work constantly to tell others that there could be something better over the horizon, when his whole duty was monotonous. His brother Mammon was in a similar situation, frustrated that all the great things he taught them to make or create from dreams would always be praised to the animal and destroyed in a flash after, like the great bowerbird nests. At the time, Beelzebub was luring others up to hear Lucifer speak, and he showed kindness to Belphegor, stating that he and Lucifer both loved that he could encourage others and think about if they put that power to their own people. Belphegor was eager to stick with them both, and indeed praised and urged to encourage others with the dreams of more, and it was so easy for Belphegor to do, and loved the sensation of his own dreams of just spending a day resting as his paradise. With this, they were all encouraged to follow Lucifer and do different things, so when they entered in battle, Belphegor and Mammon were both quite ruthless and aggressive warriors, but their wings were cut off fast, and Belphegor had to drag his brother away from his rotting golden wings as he sobbed and was brought to the edge with them both already wingless. They followed after Belial and Beelzebub as some of the few to actually jump eagerly from heaven. Upon landing in hell, they were both to Lucifer and Beelzebub's sides, and for this they would be the first as they rose to the call to be given their greatest desires in hell. As sins, their duty was simplest. They literally sent out their dreams of greed and sloth along with Beelzebub's hordes and the power of the other sins to infect the mind and seem harmless at first, before easily corrupting others. Mammon was given a palace made of gold, and he brought his brother to live there and stay there. Belphegor permitted to dream away and lounge the day aside, whilst his dreams worked upon the world of man and ruined the potential of so many, infected those suffering ailments like depression, the most to ensure they are even less eager to step into the real world that seems so cruel. During his earliest years, Beelzebub would visit Belphegor and Mammon often, aiding their work and his own, and speaking to others with their permission to use their dreams to help encourage kings to hoard and to lounge in luxury. In one of these meetings, Beelzebub was vaguely intrigued to know what Belphegor thought about the other sins, and it led to Beelzebub guiding Belphegor into true indulgences, into lust, and then purposely in envy by seducing Mammon just in front of him, before then taking Belphegor. The demon remembers it as the most romantic moment in their life, and longs to be so well thought of again, and he waits for them to come. Final comments. Belphegor is a being that only exists to put a name to a sin, but I enjoyed making Belphegor this mooning, slumbering fool, just like someone truly under the sway of sloth. We'll cover Mammon after Saddlefun, and I'm hopeful you'll find him just as interesting, because I rather enjoy writing these two. Thank you.